Hey students, welcome. In today's video, we are going to start with new lesson equilibrium. Equilibrium lesson has a good weightage of 12 marks. High weightage, lengthy lesson. Okay, so but very easy lesson. Okay, equilibrium lesson. Let us we are going to see physical equilibrium as well as chemical equilibrium. Okay, under physical equilibrium, physical processes will study. Under chemical equilibrium, laws are there, that all will study. So let us start equilibrium lesson. And before I start first type of equilibrium, that is physical equilibrium, first understand that what do you mean by equilibrium? What exactly happens in the equilibrium? Students, correctly first listen to the things. Everything I will write afterwards, take screenshot, write the notes. Okay. Very soon colleges are going to open, so keep your notes ready. Okay. So what is equilibrium? Whenever a chemical reaction takes place in a closed vessel, students, I am saying you closed vessel, because to attain equilibrium, one condition which is important is equilibrium is attained always in a closed vessel. If reaction is taking place in a closed vessel, then only, not in the open system. Okay, so it should be closed. So whenever any reaction takes place, now imagine that one reaction is taking place. So at the start of reaction, what we are having, we'll be having only reactants. Okay, so imagine that A combines with B. These two reactants are there. Both reactants are 100%. Okay, at the start of, at the beginning of the chemical reaction, only reactants are present. Products are zero, not formed. Just reaction has started. Now slowly what will happen? Reactant starts reacting and products will start forming. Correct? So as the reaction proceeds, reactants goes on decreasing, because reactants will react to form the products. So reactant goes on decreasing and slowly products goes on increasing. Understanding? Reactants gives products. So and in any chemical reaction, always remember that as reaction proceeds, that means reactants always goes on decreasing, products slowly goes on increasing. But after one particular time, concentration of reactant and concentration of product both do not change. Starting only reactants will be there, products zero. Afterwards, how reaction proceeds, reactant decreases, products goes on increasing. But after some time, both concentration, reactants as well as products, there is no change in the mass of reactant and products. Why? That is called as equilibrium has reached. When there is no change in the concentration of reactant and in the concentration of products, that time we can say that equilibrium has reached. So student, first point remember, whenever equilibrium has reached, concentration of reactant and products do not change. Okay. Then rate of forward reaction becomes equal to rate of backward reaction. Backward reaction is also called as reverse reaction. Both reaction rates becomes equal. This is what is called as dynamic equilibrium has formed. How exactly it forms, we will see various examples. Now see students, here I have written definition of dynamic equilibrium. When the reactants in a closed vessel, how much important is the word closed vessel? Okay, because equilibrium will attain only in closed vessel. At a particular temperature reacts to give products. I am writing reactants into square bracket. Its meaning is concentration. Square bracket indicates concentration. So how you have to read? To give the products, concentration of reactant keep on decreasing, correct? Concentration of product keep on increasing. for some time. Afterwards, there is no change. Afterwards, there is no change in the concentration of reactants and products. This is called as dynamic equilibrium. When it will be there, that time rate of forward reaction will become equal to rate of backward reaction. How and all we'll see. Now see equilibrium. So you came to know, students, what is equilibrium. Now obviously question will be there, when equilibrium will attain in any chemical reaction. Students, any chemical reaction can attain equilibrium at any stage. Imagine reaction has started, reactants are getting converted into products. Okay, sometime I am telling you now when equilibrium is reached during a chemical reaction. Equilibrium may reach in three different ways. Sometimes reaction had just started. Just reaction has started. Means what? Maximum reactants are there. Some of the reactants are converted into products. Reaction had just started. Maximum reactants are there. Some reactants are only converted into products. That time only equilibrium will reach in some reactions. Just at the starting of the reaction. In some chemical reaction is in between, half reactant or near to half reactants are converted into products. Both reactants and products are present in comparable quantities. Both are. Reactants are also there, much products are also there. Both are in good quantities, comparable quantities. Then equilibrium will reach. Last case, some reactant will react completely. Reaction is about to finish. At the end of the reaction, when maximum reactants are converted into products, that time equilibrium will reach. So students, understand that equilibrium can reach any time. Just reaction has started, that time, in between, or at the end of the reaction. Okay. So like this equilibrium may reach at any point. So let us start with physical equilibrium first. Afterwards we'll see chemical equilibrium in next video. So today's topic, equilibrium in physical processes. Okay. Now under physical processes, two type of processes are there. Phase transformation processes and dissolution processes. Under phase transformation, solid liquid, liquid gas, solid gas. These are different phase transformations. And under dissolution, dissolution means dissolving. Solid in liquid or gas in liquid. Two dissolution processes we are going to study. So student, things write down exactly accurately. Heading first, write down equilibrium in physical processes topic today's video. Physical processes, two types are there. Phase transformation, dissolution. Out of that, let us start with solid liquid phase transformation. So I will explain first, then writing part I will do. Students, understand the things properly now. How there is physical equilibrium in solid liquid phase transformation. So for solid and liquid, students, let us take an example of thermos flask. Understand the experiment correctly. Take example of thermos flask. Thermos flask specialty is what? It is an example of which type of system? Isolated system. Okay, insulating walls will be there, adiabatic walls will be there. So no heat will be passed out, no heat will enter inside. Okay, temperature remains constant. Imagine that in this thermos flask, water as well as ice cubes are there. In the thermos flask, ice is there, water is there. After a lot of time also, when it is watched, it is seen that mass of ice and mass of water is as it is. There is no change in the mass of ice and mass of water. Then what can you say? What is happening in the thermos flask? ice plus water was kept. After some passing of some time also, still there ice and water is there, and mass is also same only. Whatever was previous mass, it is constant only. Mass of ice is also that much only, mass of water is also that much only. So do not conclude that nothing is happening in the thermos flask. Don't conclude that nothing is happening in the thermos flask. Don't say that it is static equilibrium. Static means what? Nothing is happening. That is called as static equilibrium. Why you may conclude like that? Because you may say that previously when we watched, that time what mass was there, now also mass is same. So nothing is happening. Equilibrium is static. If you say like this, then your conclusion is wrong. Actually what is happening? Now listen. In the thermos flask, when mass of ice and mass of water remains constant or there is no change in their masses, then equilibrium has reached. Equilibrium between ice and water, solid and liquid. Here ice is melting. Some quantity of ice is melting. Ice is melting into water. At the same time, water is freezing into ice. At a particular temperature, whatever is there maintained in the thermometer, ice is melting into water and water is freezing into ice also. And rate of melting is equal to rate of freezing. What I am saying? Rate of melting is equal to rate of freezing. It means how much ice is melting into water, equal quantity of water is freezing into ice. Understood? That's why there is no change in the mass of ice and in the mass of water. This is called as dynamic equilibrium. So what you understood, students? Mass of water is constant and mass of ice both do not change at dynamic equilibrium. Rate of melting becomes equal to rate of freezing. How much ice is melting into water? Equal amount of water is freezing back into ice. That's why both concentration remains same. There is no change in the concentration. Okay, like this you should explain solid, liquid, phase transformation, physical equilibrium. Like this question will be asked for 2 marks. Any one of this solid, liquid, physical process, physical equilibrium explain. Any one will be asked. So let us write down the things. Okay. Students, things write down. Whatever I told, same things I have written here. Highlight things properly. Heading write down. Out of that, solid, liquid, physical equilibrium. If asked what to give example of, you should give example of ice, water kept in insulated thermos flask. Okay. What happens? 4 points important. Number of molecules of, okay, 4 points. First point, ice and water's mass do not change. How many ice is melting? That many molecules of water are freezing. Both rates of melting becomes equal to rate of freezing. Equation writing is also important. Ice, that is water solid, equilibrium with water. This is called as dynamic equilibrium. Students, here one more definition may be asked for 1 mark. Define normal melting point, or it is also called as freezing point. What do you mean by melting point or freezing point? Definition, write down. When the temperature at which solid and liquid phases are at equilibrium. This is called as normal melting point or freezing point. For any pure substance, of course at atmospheric pressure, temperature at which solid and liquid are at equilibrium. This temperature is called as normal melting point or normal freezing point. Write down the things. Let us next video let us see liquid gas equilibrium and solid gas equilibrium. Yes students, let us start with next physical equilibrium in phase transformation, that is liquid gas physical equilibrium or equilibrium in physical processes. How this takes place? Let us take an example to understand this. Liquid and gas. Between a liquid and a gas, how equilibrium exists? To understand this, we'll do an experiment. See here, one experiment is done. Take a transparent box. In this transparent box, U-tube should be attached. In this U-tube, mercury is filled. So it is called as manometer. This is nothing but manometer. As mercury is filled, manometer. Students, you will be knowing that manometer is used to measure pressure. Okay. Now in this transparent box, we don't want any water vapors. We want complete air dry. No water vapors should be present initially. So what we'll do? First, to remove few water vapors which are already generally present in the air, first what is done? In this transparent box, this anhydrous calcium chloride is kept for few hours. Okay. What do this calcium chloride will do? It is anhydrous. Anhydrous means without water. Okay. It is having a tendency to absorb moisture. It is having high tendency to absorb moisture and get hydrated. So wherever this anhydrous calcium chloride is kept in this transparent box, if any water vapors are present in this box, that water vapors will be absorbed by calcium chloride. Like this, water vapors, if present any, then they will be removed. And we will get a transparent box in which now there are no water vapors present. Okay. Then this anhydrous calcium chloride is removed after few hours. And in this box kept a dish of water. Now our experiment start. Dish of water is kept. Now water we have taken because equilibrium is liquid gas equilibrium. When we will keep this dish of water in this box, student, as you know already that water has a tendency to undergo evaporation. Evaporation means converting water into water vapors. Evaporation process takes place at any temperatures. No condition of temperature. You will say that madam at 100 degrees Celsius water, that is boiling. Process is vaporization. Here I am telling you evaporation. Evaporation is a process which takes place at any temperature. Okay. So here, now this water will slowly start evaporating and water vapors will start entering in the box. Can you see this? Water vapors are entering in the box. So now at this point, which process is taking place? Evaporation. Okay. Evaporation gives out vapors. Vapors are gases and gases are randomly moving and colliding on the walls of the container. When they will collide on the walls of the container, they will exert pressure. And that's why here you can see there is increase in the mercury level. Mercury level increases, pressure increases. It is seen that pressure increases when water is kept here. Why? Because water evaporates to give water vapors. Water vapor means gas, randomly moving, colliding on the walls of the container and exerting pressure. Now after some time, continuously it was observed that pressure goes on increasing and increasing till water is getting evaporated and giving out more and more water vapors. But one time is reached when it is observed that now this pressure has become constant and there is no change in the pressure. That pressure remains constant, no change in the mercury level. That time what can you conclude? You should conclude that equilibrium has reached, rather dynamic equilibrium has reached. Okay, how dynamic equilibrium takes place? See here. Starting only one process was taking place, that is evaporation. Only water was getting evaporated. Process going was evaporation. But after some time, more and more water vapors will get collected at the top. Many water vapors will get collected, and due to that, here cooling takes place upside and reverse process starts. Means, which is reverse process of evaporation? Water vapors will condense to give water again. So initially which process was going on? Initially process going on was evaporation. Afterwards condensation starts. But when condensation starts? When many water vapors get collected, that time condensation starts. And after some time, rate of evaporation becomes equal to rate of condensation. That time dynamic equilibrium has reached. So you should know that when dynamic equilibrium has reached, that time both processes rates will be equal. Rate of evaporation becomes equal to rate of condensation. And you can say that how many water is getting converted into water vapors? Equal amount of water vapors are condensing back into water. Understanding? How many molecules are getting converted into water vapors? Equal number of molecules are converting back into water. And equilibrium is reached between liquid and gas, water and water vapors. Understood? So this is how we have to explain liquid gas physical equilibrium. Students, one thing important is this experiment has to be carried out in a closed vessel, because one of the important condition for equilibrium is reached only in the closed vessel. If same experiment you will carry out in the room or in the open system, room means open system, that time what happens? Okay, imagine that you have kept much water, but it is open system, in the room only you kept. Then which process will take place? Of course, evaporation will take place. Water will get converted into water vapors, but water vapors gets dispersed. So they cannot be collected at one point, so that condensation starts. Water vapors will get dispersed, and that's why condensation don't take place. So equilibrium never get reached in open system. Understood? Okay, I hope you understood this. I will write the part afterwards. Let us first see next physical equilibrium, that is solid gas physical equilibrium. Now students, solid gas. I hope you understood. Very easy examples are given. Solid liquid understood, liquid gas understood. Now let us understand solid gas physical equilibrium takes place how. Okay, to understand solid and gas, students, now imagine one closed vessel is there. Imagine we are having one transparent closed vessel. Okay. In this vessel, imagine now iodine crystals are kept. I am telling you solid gas physical equilibrium. Iodine crystals I have kept. Iodine crystals are solid. Crystals, solid. Solid iodine crystals are kept. Of course, vessel is transparent, so we can see it, but it is closed. Okay. Iodine crystals slowly start sublimation. So, what is sublimation? solid directly getting converted into vapors without attaining liquid state is called as sublimation. So here solid gets converted into gas. Sublimation takes place. Iodine crystal sublimes and vapors are given out. Students, you should know that color of the vapors of iodine crystals is violet. So we can see that our glass jar, which is transparent, closed, slowly becomes faint violet in color. Why? Because iodine crystal is subliming. It is getting converted, it is giving out vapors, and that vapors are of violet color. So initially that jar becomes faint violet, afterwards little dark violet and more dark violet. Like this color becomes darker and darker violet. But after some time it is seen that now there is no change in the, or there is no more deepening of violet color. Violet color intensity remains same only. That time you should conclude that equilibrium has reached. Between whom equilibrium has reached? Between solid and gas. How it takes place, students? See. Iodine crystals undergoing sublimation. Vapors will be given out. Vapors are violet in color, so jar becomes violet. More and more vapors will be given out, that's why dark becomes more and more violet. But after some time, as it is closed vessel, that vapors get collected upside and they start getting converted back into iodine crystal, iodine crystals. This process, which is opposite of sublimation, is called as solidification. Vapors are collected and get converted back into iodine crystal. So this process is called as solidification. So initially sublimation was taking place. Now solidification has started. Okay. Rate of sublimation becomes equal to rate of solidification. How many iodine crystals are getting converted into violet color vapors? Equal number of violet vapors are getting converted back into iodine crystals. Rate of forward sublimation is equal to rate of solidification. Like this, you can give an example for solid gas physical equilibrium. Okay. Now student, I will write all these things. Okay, students. Here writing part is over. Students, write down the things as it is. What I have written. Take one transparent box carrying a U-tube which is filled with mercury. It is called as manometer. First keep in that anhydrous CaCl2. What is role of anhydrous CaCl2 to remove the water vapor? So it is a drying agent. It is kept in box for few hours to remove water vapors. Okay. Afterwards CaCl2 is removed and water dish is kept. Then it is seen that level of manometer increases, and afterwards it is seen that pressure remains constant. First it increases, afterwards pressure remains constant. What happens? Volume of water also decreases. Initially only evaporation takes place, water vapors get collected, and afterwards condensation also starts. Okay, so here it is evaporation was taking place, afterwards condensation occurs. Okay, and finally what points are, this is all explanation. Important points are these terms. Rate of evaporation equal to rate of condensation. Equation write down, water in liquid and water in gas state. It is called as dynamic equilibrium has reached. Here student, one mark question may be asked, what is normal boiling point of liquid? Okay. Why boiling point is asked? Because here liquid is getting converted into water vapors. So for any liquid, normal boiling point means for any pure liquid, when atmospheric pressure is 1 atmosphere, there is one temperature at which this liquid and gas are at equilibrium. That temperature is called as normal boiling point of liquid. So this is all about liquid gas in physical equilibrium. Now students, I will write solid gas equilibrium. So students, this is how you have to explain solid gas physical equilibrium. Very simple example. Already we have discussed that example. See the points I will underline. If we place solid iodine crystals in a closed vessel, after some time vessel is filled with which color vapors students? Violet color vapors. Initially color will be very faint color, afterwards it becomes more and darker violet. Intensity of violet color increases as time passes because more and more iodine vapors get vaporized. After some time intensity remains constant, means violet color intensity remains constant. That is what dynamic equilibrium has reached. Means rate of sublimation has become equal to rate of solidification. Iodine solid is in equilibrium with iodine vapors. How many molecules of iodine solid is getting converted into vapors? Equal number of molecules of iodine vapors are solidifying to give iodine crystals. Okay, so I can say that number of iodine crystals sublime is equal to number of molecules, right? Number of molecules of iodine crystal sublime is equal to number of molecules of iodine vapors solidify. How many are undergoing sublimation? Equal number are undergoing solidification. Okay, like this rate of sublimation becomes equal to rate of solidification. Students, let us see. Now all these phase transformation physical equilibriums are over. Let us move towards next physical equilibrium. Only understand writing part I will do afterwards. Next physical equilibrium is dissolution physical equilibrium. Dissolution physical equilibrium we will see solid in liquid, or we can see dissolving of gas in liquid. Okay students, either solid in liquid or gas in liquid. Okay, let us understand the things. How solid in liquid during dissolution dynamic equilibrium has reached. To understand this, take an example of sugar dissolved in water. Students, imagine that we are having a glass of water. In that we added first spoon of sugar, we stirred. Sugar will dissolve. Again we added 1 spoon of sugar. We'll stir that. Somehow by more and more stirring, somehow it dissolves. Okay. But when we are adding third spoon of sugar, how much you stir? Because second spoon was only not dissolving. By too much of stirring, it has somehow dissolved. Already the solution has become saturated solution. What do you mean by saturated solution? No more solute can dissolve. Such a solution is called as saturated solution. So now capacity of that water of taking solute is over. Now no more solute can dissolve and the solution has become saturated now by adding 2 spoons of sugar. Still, if you will add third spoon of sugar, we are having guarantee that now that third spoon of sugar is not going to dissolve. It will remain as it is at the bottom of the glass. Okay, I hope you understood. First 2 spoons have been dissolved. Imagine to make a saturated solution. Extra sugar is added that remains at the bottom of the glass, that is in solid form. Okay, now where is equilibrium here? Very nice equilibrium exists here, see now. Now that glass keep as it is. After 1 or 2 hours again you watch it. You will see that no, that third spoon of sugar whatever we have added, that is still there at the bottom of the glass. You will say that nothing is happening in the glass. We may feel that nothing is happening. That third spoon is still at the bottom of that third spoon of sugar is still at the bottom of the glass. Not dissolved. It is as it is. Nothing is happening in the glass of water. Static equilibrium it is not. It is dynamic equilibrium. Because though we feel that nothing is happening, there are 2 processes taking place at equal rate. Now how and which processes, let us understand. Now in this glass of water we are having 2 sugars. One sugar is in the solution form, dissolved in water. Second sugar is at the bottom of the glass in solid form. 2 sugars are there, sugar solid, sugar solution, sugar present in the solution. Now at this point, some sugar which is already dissolved in water, some sugar out of that which is present in the solution is coming out, separating out in the form of solid sugar. And some solid sugar which is present at the bottom of the glass, that is getting dissolved in the water. 2 processes are taking place simultaneously, but with equal rate. So we don't feel that any change is taking place. Which 2 processes are taking place? Some sugar which is already dissolved in water, out of that some sugar is crystallizing out, and which is solid sugar present at the bottom, that is getting dissolved. So some is crystallizing and some is dissolving. Rate of crystallization becomes equal to rate of dissolution. How much sugar is dissolving? Equal quantity is crystallizing out. Both rate becomes equal. That's why there is no change in the mass of sugar in the solution and mass of sugar in the solid. And this is called as dynamic equilibrium. Understood, students? So this is an example of solid in liquid physical equilibrium. Solid dissolved in liquid. Which example? Sugar. Now students, you may see that you may feel like, madam, how to believe or how to prove this, that no, one sugar is dissolving, one is crystallizing out. How much is dissolving? Equal quantity is crystallizing out. How will come to know? For that sake, one experiment is done. Now try to understand the experiment. Once again see the things. Same experiment I will tell, but now we have to identify that the 2 processes are taking place. How you will come to know that? Understand this. Again take 1 glass of water. I am adding 2 spoons of sugar. I will stir it much more till both spoons of sugars are dissolving and saturated solution of sugar is ready. Okay. The sugar, how many spoons dissolved? 2 spoons. Solution is already now saturated. No more solute will dissolve. That is called as saturated solution. Sugar used for making this this solution is normal sugar. Okay. Now student, we'll do some small change. Now whatever third spoon of sugar we are going to add, that sugar will take one special type of sugar which is called as radioactive sugar. Radioactive sugar. Okay. So that third spoon whatever we'll add, that is one special radioactive sugar added. Of course, we'll know that now that third spoon is not going to dissolve. It will remain at the bottom of the glass. Then some that radioactive sugar is getting dissolved in water and some water sugar is coming out in the form of crystals. How we'll conclude that? Because when these both sugar and solid, sugar in solution, both are examined under microscope, that time it is observed that in solution, some sugar is radioactive. In solution, some sugar is radioactive. And in solid form, some sugar is normal. Okay. So this proves that static equilibrium is not there. Dynamic equilibrium has formed and process is continuous. Though we can't see the change in that glass, some sugar is dissolving also, some sugar is crystallizing out also. Okay, like this you can prove this by experiment. Writing part I will do, students. I hope you understood solid in liquid. Example, sugar in water. Last dissolution let us finish and then writing part all together I will do. Next physical equilibrium of dissolution is gas in liquid. Gas dissolved in liquid. Students, imagine example, gas in liquid example, soda water bottle. What is there in soda water bottle? Soda water bottle, carbon dioxide gas at high pressure is dissolved in soda water. And this soda water bottle is sealed under very high pressure. High pressure is applied and carbon dioxide gas is dissolved in that soda water. Under that much high pressure only, this soda water bottle is sealed. Okay, so that pressure should be maintained inside the bottle. Because under that pressure only carbon dioxide has been dissolved in soda water. Now where is equilibrium here, see students? Now imagine soda water bottle sealed under high pressure. Here two carbon dioxide gases are there. One is carbon dioxide gas which is dissolved under high pressure in the soda water. We can see that carbon dioxide gas in the solution. Another carbon dioxide gas is present in the form of gas only. Whenever you will observe any soda water bottle, you can see that upside some gap will be there. In that gap, some carbon dioxide gas will be present in gaseous form. So where is equilibrium? Two carbon dioxide gases are there. One is dissolved in soda water. One is present in the gap above the soda water. Okay. And equilibrium exists between these two carbon dioxide. Some carbon dioxide gas is getting dissolved. Some is coming out. Okay. So there exists an equilibrium. How much is dissolving? Equal amount is coming out. So there exists an equilibrium between carbon dioxide dissolved in soda water and carbon dioxide present in upside gap in soda water bottle. Like this, both the dissolution physical equilibrium you can explain. Now I will write these two dissolution physical equilibrium. Yes friends. Now see, already things are taught to you. Writing part how to do, see, write down the things properly. Physical equilibrium, in that dissolution, two types of dissolution. Of course, something will dissolve in liquid. So, two types of dissolutions are solid in liquid or gas in liquid. Liquid is fixed. Two types of dissolutions are solid in liquid or gas in liquid. Let us see first equilibrium involving dissolution under the solid in liquid. For that, we have seen example of sugar dissolved in water. What is written? Just see. First take saturated solution of sugar. Okay, saturated solution of sugar is example. Saturated solution means what, students? No more solute can be dissolved. Such a solution is called as saturated solution. In that, if some sugar is added in saturated solution, then what happens? It remains at the bottom as solid sugar crystals. Okay, and there exists one dynamic equilibrium. Dynamic equilibrium exists between whom, students? It exists between sugars. Which sugars? Two sugars are there. One is sugar dissolved in the solution and one is sugar present at the bottom in the form of solid crystals. So there exists dynamic equilibrium between these two sugars. Sugar in solution and sugar in solid form. Then what happens? Rate of dissolution of sugar becomes equal to rate of crystallization of sugar. Some sugar is dissolving, equal quantity of sugar is crystallizing out. So rate of dissolution is equal to rate of crystallization. Okay, very important, which two rates are equal. Then equation again important, sugar equilibrium, you should write these equations if question is asked. Solution, one sugar is present in the solution, one is in the solid form. Like this you should explain solid in liquid type of dissolution. Another dissolution we have seen gas in liquid. For that we have seen example of soda water bottle sealed under high pressure. So here what is written, sister? A soda water bottle is always sealed under high pressure. After dissolving carbon dioxide gas in it, we'll call that as carbonated drinks. Why carbonated drinks? Because carbon dioxide gas is dissolved in it. Okay. Equilibrium exists. Here equilibrium exists between carbon dioxide. There are two carbon dioxide. One is dissolved under high pressure in soda water. Another carbon dioxide is present in upside in the gap, top gap. Okay. When seal is there, below that seal. So there exists equilibrium between carbon dioxide gas present in dissolved form in soda water and in upside gap of bottle. So equilibrium show between carbon dioxide gas and carbon dioxide solution. Students, here one more law will be asked. State Henry's law. Okay. So Henry's law statement is written here. Understands Henry's law. Henry's law will be asked in first PUC, second PUC, repeatedly asked question. Okay, second PUC statement will be little different. Here what you should understand in Henry's law. Whenever Henry's law will be there, always remember soda water bottle example. Okay, what is there? What happens in soda water bottle? Carbon dioxide gas is dissolved. How dissolved? High pressure is applied on carbon dioxide gas. Under such a high pressure, that carbon dioxide gas dissolves in soda water. So if you apply more pressure, more carbon dioxide will dissolve. If you apply less pressure, less gas will dissolve. Understanding? So what are you understanding? That dissolution of carbon dioxide, solubility of carbon dioxide depends upon how much pressure is applied. Apply more pressure, more carbon dioxide will dissolve. This is only Henry's law. The statement you can say that how much mass of carbon dioxide is dissolved is directly proportional to the pressure of the gas present above the surface of the solvent. In one solvent, you are applying pressure and dissolving gas. The mass of gas dissolved is directly proportional to the pressure applied on the surface of the solvent. This is Henry's law statement. Everything write down properly, student. See you soon in next video.